Hi, this is Kim Watson. Welcome to my weekly outlook looking at cryptocurrencies. Each week I intend to cover the major currencies, the larger currencies by volume and value. Each week I will try and add one as well, just pop a guess one in, but there's plenty of things I want to do on the crypto side of things which I'll keep separate from our normal Forex videos. I may even set up a folder within our Easy Trader platform here on YouTube to add extra bits about Bitcoin. I get asked quite a few questions from different people throughout the weeks, and particularly after last week, regarding Bitcoin, etc., on cryptocurrencies, and what tell me more about them. Well, as I dig through, I find more and more details out about each of the coins. Some interesting coins out there. I was going to do a special review on BNB, which is Binance, even I can only say that, which is a coin which is getting quite a bit of popularity. It actually belongs to a cryptocurrency exchange, which is the biggest exchange in the world actually in terms of trading volume, at about 1.6 billion per 24-hour session. So quite a decent size exchange. But I'll cover that off in separate sections, I think, so as not to make the normal analysis too long. Other thing to bear in mind is I'm always going to be talking about these currencies versus the dollar, which is a bit of a strange thing to do, of course, because the dollar being a fiat currency. But it's important that in terms of as we are at the moment, most people are using dollars or euros to buy the cryptos, and if they were moving it across, they may then exchange it back to the original fiat currency. So there's that sort of exchange basis that's happening. So it makes more sense, and also we can peg it against something which is, I say, it's not hardly a constant, but something just to give us an idea in a value that we're sort of familiar with. Anyway, so I shall be comparing these against the dollar. Each against the dollar. You can look at the cross pairs against effectively Bitcoin versus Ethereum, etc. So there's plenty of alternatives to be looking at here. Anyway, let's get on and have a look at this Bitcoin. And last week, when I was recording this last Monday, the 17th, there, I was suggesting that we got the bear flag there, and it looked like that. Well, it was going to push on even further down. So I put the volume on here because I needed it for looking at Ripple in a moment, but you still see there was some decent. It did pitch down a little bit further and hit the prior lows there, just pitched through them a little bit there, but never really followed on through. But there's some decent old days here, some quite significant sized days here. It's pushed up solidly with certainly decent volume leading into Friday. Saturday, Sunday, where the volumes come off, maybe just purely the cycle that we'll see every week in terms of volumes coming off, although you can see some quite big moves on these days, of course, as people get the jitters. But coming into the Monday, and yes, it's trading all of the time, so it's runs through Saturday, Sunday. It's a real 24/7 market. Selling off here today at the moment. What next? Well, this sell-off here, these three little bars, solid volumes coming through with that sell-off. So it's obviously happening, but I am wondering whether we will see a push or a reversal again at some point, and a push back towards this more significant trend line that sits there. Now, if I push this out to a weekly, you'll see what I mean by more significantly. It's sitting across here. You could extend it up actually, maybe just off from this next curve, but quite significant in the near term at least. Well off the absolute highs there, of course. So pop this back to a daily. So that's where we are at the moment. So pushing down, potential to push up there. I'm looking at the prior highs here back at 6899. So if it does reverse around, looking at those sort of levels, and we may get selling coming into the trend line at that same time. So certainly there's a potential for it this week. Now Ethereum. Now trend line I drew on last week. The price has come up to it. Now it's had again some solid volume coming through there. The sales volume is just it's a bit annoying. Sorry, I've overlaid the volume onto the chart itself, which is always a bad move. But there you go. The sales volume or selling volume was pretty sharp and big when it was happening back there. But it has since last Monday. Since then, we've seen some decent sort of buying coming in. A solid volume. You see the volume has picked up in the last month, particularly since, well, really, about the 5th of September. Their volume sort of picked up in these currencies, even though some of it was selling, of course. Things are picking up a little bit there. Has now run into its trend line a bit earlier than Bitcoin has run it or got close to it. This has actually hit the trend line. Bit of reaction over Saturday and Sunday, not significant. It's retesting, it's hand railing. If it can push through again, I'd be looking back towards these prior lows here, maybe for resistance, and then, well, it may have a bit more opportunity to push up. Haven't put loads of moving averages on this at the moment because some of the longer term moving averages, well, there's not enough of it to give me meaningful numbers, but I will add some of the key moving averages we use on here soon as well. But for now, it's just pure technical analysis, looking at price action compared to previous levels. Okay, that's Ethereum. Let's have a look at Ripple. Ripple was quite interesting. I saw it make quite a move up during the week, and I wanted to show you the volume here. It's I mean, it double bottomed the week before I looked at it, and tripling along there, and looked like on the 17th there it might even test that level again and roll over. As it happened, and the following day I must have said something because off it shot, and okay, we had a little light day in between. Decent solid day again. I think everyone jumped on board there then on the 21st, maybe Friday. But it's held around the area okay Saturday, Sunday, but a bit of a sell-off on today. But not, I mean, quite a big move down, but not a huge amount of volume coming through into that move down. Quite lightly traded maybe, or lighter traded relatively. Now the volume on Ripple really only started on the 18th. We didn't see the sort of build up of volume we saw on Ethereum earlier on the month. But there's plenty of reasons why this has happened. Basically, they've got a product XRapid, which has 19 banking institutions now lined up to use it, which is expected to save them something like 40-70% on trading fees. So there's that benefit. It's also not come under attack from the banks as many other coins have, and it's actually been sort of sitting there quite quietly. Okay, it's had the same knock-on effect in terms of its pricing or its value, but recently it's got a major US bank, one of the top 10 banks, PNC, which is going to use its blockchain technology. So pretty good news for Ripple from that point of view, and probably more could follow. So there we go. That's where we are with that. Now, right, okay, I've covered the majors. I wanted to cover the three sort of majors there. Wanted to cover this week at the moment. As I said, I'm going to pop in possibly over the weeks. I may just ad hoc just drop them down there. Some recordings when I get a moment. I've got, as I say, loads of notes on each of these coins. I may just put some notes there. There's quite a few. Actually, you can't really see it from here. You see if I can drag it across. No, it's not going to let me drag it across. But I've got a whole raft of currencies that I've been looking at. Ooh, there we go. I'll squeeze it in there. So there's a whole raft of currencies to look at, which I'll probably be talking over the next few weeks. As I say, I may just do ad hoc videos on those particular currencies. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great week. Bye for now.